Well, the first thing you should do is get a ball that hooks as least as possible. Not a plastic ball. You still want a ball that obviously is going to turn over on the back end. But if that ball still starts to hook a little too much, then break your wrist back. By breaking your wrist back, it will cut down your hook and enable you to hold control of the pocket, at least the head pin. Well, if the lanes are getting tighter on the back end, what you need to do is probably get a little bit more hook in your hand. Chances are the ball that you started with was really good when the back ends were fresh, but what you need to do is go down in shell and get something that will actually grab the lane a little bit more since the back ends are getting tighter. This will actually make the ball tip over a little bit, probably give you a little bit more hit when it gets to the pins too. Well, if you're leaving multiple pin spares, that means that your ball is breaking loose from the lane. Therefore, chances are it's hooking a little bit too soon, or just overall it's hooking too much. So therefore, you might want to down shell a little bit, get a little bit less ball in your hand, so that once again you can control the pocket, leaving yourself hopefully a 1-pin or easy makeable spare. Well, the biggest thing to do there is not give the pocket away too much. Because if you give the pocket away a little bit too much, meaning that you stand a little too deep and try to belly the ball or swing it out, as soon as you swing the ball out, then when it hits the back end part of the lane, it straightens out and you miss the head pin altogether. So you want to try to get something that you can control, I'll say a little bit of an earlier rolling ball so that it doesn't jump too much because of the friction, but at the same time, it will still continue to roll when it gets to the back end. Therefore, it will still allow you to have a little bit of punch when it gets to the pins. Well, actually, our climates back where I grew up at home get quite humid as well. I only live 20 minutes from the ocean, so I know what it's like to have a lot of humidity. The biggest thing there is to have your thumb hole or finger holes opened up a little bit bigger so that you can adjust those holes accordingly. Putting tape in your bowling ball, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of tape, if that's what you really need to have, is really to your advantage. You always want to make sure that you can take some out to make your thumb or your fingers still fit in the holes that you obviously have in the bowling ball. It can only increase your score and give you a better feel of the ball as the night progresses. Well, the biggest thing that I do is I adjust my shoes. I have a sole and a heel that I can actually take off of my bowling shoes to adjust for different approaches on different lanes, basically not only around the country, but for that matter, around the world. If I still have a problem then, if I'm sticking a little too much, if you slide your shoe close to the ball return a lot of times or close to it, you will find that there's a little bit of fine dust there that you can get on your shoe. It will actually help let you slide a little bit more. If you're sliding a little bit too much, then the biggest thing to do there is make sure that you really rub the bottom of your shoe, your slide shoe off each and every shot before you get up there to throw it. Well, if you're getting outstruck on a high scoring condition, you better change balls. If the scores are high, that means that there's a lot of different bowling balls that will enable you to get to the pocket. If the current bowling ball you're throwing is leaving a lot of corner pins or 1-pin taps, it's time to put that ball in the bag and grab a ball that's going to roll just a little bit differently. You may find that the answer is sitting right in your bowling bag, and it could be 6 in a row just waiting to happen. I think the main reason I stay with Brunswick equipment is we all know that it's the best equipment on the market, but I've had nothing but success with Brunswick equipment, and I honestly can see no reason why you would ever want to try any other equipment in the market today. Definitely the types of conditioners and cleaners the center uses will affect the game. If they use a cleaner that doesn't clean the lane very well, the lane will consistently get tighter and tighter, and sometimes it will actually get so tight that your ball will not turn over on the back end. On the flip side of the coin, maybe a center uses a cleaner that really cleans the lane squeaky clean. Well, rest assured, you know if they've just stripped and re-oiled the lanes right before you're out there to bowl, your ball is really going to hook a lot on the back end. As far as the type of conditioner they use, there's many different types of conditioners out on the market today. Some are more slick than others. Depending what a center puts on their lanes and how much they put on their lanes can definitely affect the scores as to whether they're high or low. Thumb hole's loose.